Fintech is in mobility. So we're looking at a company right now in connected cars. We're going to do payments in it. So you figure, how would you do that and why would you do that? You know the progressive app that you can get and plug it into your car and see if you drive well enough, your insurance premium goes down. Have you heard of that ad that they say you can get that, right? So what if you can pay for your insurance per mile or for a second that you drive or every minute that you drive? If you drive over the speed limit, your insurance costs rise up. Just like in your dashboard, you can see the efficiency of your fuel. You press a lot of gas, you pay more for your gas. You spend more gas. So we're looking at that technology where, if you're, as compared to the other cars, if you're moving faster, then your cost of insurance is going up higher. It anticipates toll booths. It anticipates parking spots. So if a car is moving on a parking spot, can you take that parking spot and pay for it in advance? So we're looking at that kind of technology in payments. So as I was saying, that Fintech actually connects all the worlds together. Because if you want to make money, Fintech is the way. So a lot of the conclusion items is disruption happening in the Fintech is a driver for every industry. If you're making money, in any industry, Fintech is the way is the revolution is going to happen. You got to figure out the noise versus the real stuff, right? So what's the noise and rise above the noise? Partnership with startups is the key to success. Because startups are the ones that go avant-garde and do new technologies. Challenge for regulators, of course, it requires a fundamental shift, in your mind of how to do things to make a startup grow in Fintech. And new technologies are there to ease the transition from old world economy to new world economy. With that, I want to open it up for questions for Vedam and I, if you have any.
Can you comment on the African continent, especially in Nigeria, they use phones to pay. Is this something similar to what you guys are talking?
He's a plugin for me, by the way. So they use our technology that course is developed for payments of bill and transferring money. So what it does is a mobile payment technology, not on blockchain, but essentially is a credit card number. When you send that number over to somebody else, it debits your account from your mobile phone and credits some other account. So, and that account, according to the Nigerian government, is not cash. So you can convert that into cash if you wanted to. US doesn't allow that. US email regulations don't allow that. But Nigeria, and in fact in India also, you can do that now.
Has anyone looked at linking financial services at the source of a commodity like gasoline? Like, so is ExxonMobil or the utility company that sells electricity, are they the new insurance companies? And is that pretty much the new consumer insurance?
That's a good point. But I think what his question was, has anybody looked at timing commodities with financial services, right? So if you're selling gasoline, can you do insurance as well, right? I think the challenge with that industry is that you're taking two industries, megalith, right? So, they're trying to combine them together. So only a startup can do that. I know of only one company that is doing, as you're talking about, these smart contracts in those places where if you do this is what's going to happen. But I don't think it's baked out yet. But I think you're right, that's the industries that are ready for disruption, where you combine commodities and other places together, saying, if you do this, the other industry is going to get affected, but can you put it combined together in one place? But I'm not sure of any specific case on that. But that's a good one to look at.
What is the total value of Bitcoin or blockchain? And do you think lifelong, for the next 10 or 15 years, that will become the global currency?
The total value right now is about $12 billion, but really Bitcoin is dying. It's dying. So two things. There's, number one, it's a public blockchain, so anyone has access to it. And it's being cannibalized by internal politics. The thing is that there's kind of, because it is distributed, it's like there's a rivalry between Chinese and the American Bitcoiners. So the developers are American, the miners, which kind of control the system, are Chinese. So that's why there's a movement from Bitcoin to blockchain. Now, One use of Bitcoin is for international remittance, right? So sending money from country to country. But I discovered, I did some customer discovery over the summer, I discovered that's not really the best use case for it, because if you go through an exchange, you have to pay 1% on each country, and the entire process, sending money from one country to other country takes 24 hours. And you're exposed to volatility at that point, right? Liquidity asset from local currency to Bitcoin. That's why we're looking at the underlying technology instead of blockchain.
So the other coins, by the way, there's Bitcoin, there's a Litecoin, there's a coin bank, there's I was at a conference and I listed maybe about 15 to 16 different currencies just like Bitcoins that are out there. Is Bitcoin the right one? Who knows? But the keys are at the bottom. There's a mathematical currency to be discovered for everybody to use, I think, to answer your question.
So you've probably been following the India space in big ways. So there's the whole India stack, Aadhaar, linked to biometrics and all that. And obviously that's gotten a lot of buzz over the last, I think, couple of years or so. A lot of fintech companies have emerged there as well. So when you get into this, peer-to-peer kind of stuff and all that, right? And you talked about regulation, I think. So if I pay somebody, do one of these contracts, pay somebody, and then something is wrong, how do I recover the money back?
So to give an example, Airtel, Airtel in India, right? So Airtel said, it's my money. It's called Airtel money, where when you buy minutes, it's money. So you can transfer money from one place to another place, right? So that means Airtel is the owner, right, of those minutes. Now, they wanted to have you spend Airtel money at shops, right? So initially they were allowed to do that. There's a company called Ooredoo out of Dubai and out of Qatar. What you can do is if you have Ooredoo mobile phone, you can go to a movie store and you can swipe your phone and you can buy a movie ticket by your mobile minutes. Indian regulators came down heavy on that, saying, to answer your question, who's responsible? I got my movie ticket, or I didn't get my movie ticket, but I paid for it. Who do I go to? Do I go to the movie guy? Do I go to Airtel? Do I go to my phone company? Do I go to Samsung? What do I go to? So they're forcing Airtel to become a bank. So if you're going to do these transactions, you've got to become a bank. So that's a challenge. Aadhaar, states, Aadhaar, if you guys don't know, it's an identification scheme in India, just like a social security in the US. So it's a biometric scheme, and so everybody has to register for that. Everybody has to get a social security number in the US, same thing in India. Now you got to get an Aadhaar card. So what they were trying to do was tie in payments to that. Saying, if you have your social security card, why can't you use social security card for payments? Well, would you give out your social security number to anybody else in the US? You won't, right? So they said, okay, we're going to move to biometrics now for that. So you can show your biometric scan to people so you can make payments to it. But again, does Aadhaar become a bank? So they're trying to move out of there, saying you got to separate banking regulations to identity regulations separately. Now, eventually will that happen? Absolutely. I think what's going to happen eventually in the future is that you're going to go to a grocery store, you're going to take out all the stuff, and you're going to put it in your basket, and you're going to walk out. Whether you pay by your iris scan, whether you pay by your credit card, it's in your wallet, an NFC, a beacon, a blockchain, a Bitcoin, it's going to be immaterial. Now, India, so can you guess a country that's kind of deploying this technology that we were just talking about? Vietnam. So Vietnam is doing it because they don't have a banking structure. They're saying, I don't care about regulations because nobody has the money anyway. So let's do everything with loyalty points. So you have a mobile phone in Vietnam, you can go and buy cigarettes with a mobile phone. They'd rather not spend our cash.
So just to complete that, so if something goes wrong, who's going to pay me if I don't care?
I'm saying, if RBI is saying right now is the bank. So you either you become a bank or you don't do these transactions.
Does Pro work for transfers from India to US?
Yes, so it works. So the question was, does my company, Crores, does it work for transfers from here to there? It works, but does it work for reverse as well? The technology, absolutely. The challenge is regulations. So in India, if you send money back over here, you're allowed $250,000 you can transfer from India as an individual, but it's only for 5 purposes. That's it. You can't do it for anything more. So gifting, family maintenance, student loans are the top 3. So unless you're making money back for that reason, you can't.
Indigenous for assets?
Assets, you have to sell the asset in India.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can transfer money. Yeah. Sorry.
Can you comment on the role of Fintech on a real estate transaction? Like if I were to buy a mortgage, it's a document-heavy process. You got the title insurance company, you got the registration of titles with the county. Where do you see this spanning in that space?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And we were just talking before that when we were preparing for this presentation about smart contracts. Now, what's going to happen in the future, I can tell you, in 5 years from now or to 7 years from now, what's going to happen if you have a smart contract. You want to buy an insurance or you want to buy a house, you just go look for the house and you click one button and everything else is a blockchain. I believe it's going to be a smart contract where you're going to have a contract with the bank, you're going to have a contract with the insurance company, the title company, insurance company is going to be notified of your purchase and it's going to tell you it's pre-qualified or not, go to the second company and do it all in one place without you going to any other place. The challenge right now is you just talked about 3 different industries. One is mortgage, one is banking, one is insurance now. And now, other industries come into play like payments, right? So when you have to combine all these industries, you got to have an impetus to do these transactions. So somebody has to go in. So somebody like a big company or a startup has to come and create the infrastructure and talk about how you're going to put this together. There's an insurance company over here which is using blockchain as well. There's another company that I know is mortgage, based, payments company that's coming up as well. So a startup can do that and have 3 or 4 companies combined. And I think there is less regulation in that than to just do mortgage. If you're riding, I think the trick to Fintech is if you can ride above the layer, not go inside that layer. If you're inside that layer, you are the core competences that investment banking like TD Ameritrade. They're doing everything they can to fix that market. For a startup, I think if you rise above the noise and kind of put a layer above, I think that's the key market right now. So I think that's a very good point to think about. Sorry, one last question.
So yesterday I was listening and they said like for having credit card business, there's 4 layers. I mean, you're telling that if you remove the brokers, that's one of the opportunities. I'm just thinking, could this blockchain be used to disrupt the credit card business?
So when I opened my call center, everybody was talking about outsourcing is bad, and it's going to be end all for everybody. You still outsource. So there's still going to be brokers, I think. But has the market shifted just from outsourcing to, it's called the BPO, it's a knowledge transfer, right? Could you do that? Could brokers provide a different value to that? Absolutely. Could brokers own that blockchain or own that structure in the middle? Absolutely. Can you do the transaction where the broker says, I have the platform to do it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to call on anybody. I have this white label platform, for insurance. You just come and log into my platform. You know something called Lending Tree, by the way? Lending Tree was started by a broker, right? It's a couple of $1 billion company now. What does it do? It's a broker, right? It's an online broker. You say, I want to get a mortgage. It goes to 5 different companies saying, put your bid in. That's exactly what a broker does. The question is, are you going to be the one who does form the next Lending Tree or not? You know what the gaps are, and that's what the reason for this conference is, to say, let's go figure out what the gaps are, and can you fill those gaps or not? And right now, the next companies you will see are filling those niche gaps in the market that people don't realize there are gaps. If you can realize what the gaps are, you can fill them. So that's the reason for this conference. So it's a very good question. Okay. Now, one last question, please. Otherwise, I'll get the guys on stage. Come on, Bruce, Francois. Just come on. Yeah, we'll get you on stage. Thank you very much for your time, guys. So we just talked about the disruptions. So what we have is startups in the fintech industry that are poised to change the world. And we'll talk about why we think so. right? And so with that, I want to introduce our panel to you. Bruce Camp, who is CEO and founder of Virtual Border. It's a Thai angels company, and Sky7 is also invested in this company. And François, did I pronounce your name right? Okay, Brand Crowder, and he is pioneering in the franchising space, and he's going to talk about that. And he's also involved in blockchain. And Jason, and he's got this cool company called Benzinga, which I think TD Ameritrade should look at it. Buying it out, right, Jason? Yeah, okay, cool. So I want to invite Bruce to start off the presentation. They're going to do 10 minutes of presentation, and then we can open up for QA for you guys to talk about it. Is that okay?
Okay, so what I'd like to just cover briefly is what Virtual Border is. For about 15 years, we've provided software that powered border exchanges all over the world. There's about 90 border exchanges that use our technology to track transactions. It's an online marketplace. And then we've taken that software and kind of revised it, found other use cases for it. But it's basically trade commerce. So trade commerce and alternative capital is disrupting the entire world. It's disrupting payments, it's disrupting banking, credit card networks. It doesn't only offer similar objectives, but it also provides the participants with direct access to new customers and increased sales. A trade commerce marketplace enables buyers to pay for the products, services, technology, travel, advertising, or anything else that they need to purchase for their business or their personal use, and to pay for that with their own product or service instead of cash. So if you've got a 20% cost or a 30% cost in your restaurant or any service that you're providing, and then you're getting new customers coming into your establishment, paying you with trade credits, and then you can use those trade credits for purchasing, you're actually buying at wholesale. Trade commerce is actually better than group buying services that help customers, that help companies monetize their excess capacity or unsold inventory, because these services like Groupon are only sharing about 25% of the value from that sale with the seller, whereas trade commerce provides 100% of that value to the seller. The dilemma that I've seen is that Thai members are searching for the right path to increase sales, to reach new markets and reduce cash expenses. We have great seminars going on, we've got meetings going on all over the country. I've been to a few Thai meetings, but nobody's really doing any commerce with each other. They're just collecting business cards, and then they put them away, and then maybe 3 months later they say, oh, I need to call this guy. P2P commerce isn't really working that well. Marketplaces are very fragmented. Commerce is always supply-side centric, whereas an online marketplace that we put together is demand-side centric. We set up a marketplace for Thai. It's called the Thai Connect Exchange. It's demand side and it's multi-currency, so that we don't have to deal with forex or trades between different countries, because the system automatically calculates the difference between different currencies in different countries, and there's no banking cost in doing that. The opportunities that we offer is the global marketplace for all the Thai members, which provides access to about 60,000 different companies, in addition to Thai members themselves, with about $1 billion in inventory available for people to buy, as well as to sell to those 60,000 companies. The platform is at TiEConnectExchange.com. It's a group-connected platform, and it's a community commerce platform, so that the entire community within Thai can facilitate commerce and do business with each other. We also offer it as a customized white label marketplace for any company, group or business network or community to set up their own online marketplace. And all of the marketplaces are interconnected with each other, so that a Thai marketplace being set up today, although it doesn't have any members yet, could already start out with $1 billion in inventory and 60,000 other companies to work with. And we also have a white label reward and redemption marketplace that can be used for merchant service providers, ISOs, banks, member communities, donation management, and that sort of thing. So the virtual marketplace is pre-populated with $400 million in product, services, travel, and media. And it's also interconnected to other marketplaces and other networks. So it totals about $1 billion in different product and service opportunities. It also facilitates global commerce. It's a marketplace that benefits all the individual Thai members as well as the Thai community and the Thai chapters. It's also a demand ecosystem, so that we're doing demand commerce, where you can put in the things that you're looking to purchase, the products and services that you're looking for, and then sellers can contact you and say, yes, I have this, I can supply that demand. And of course, you're paying for that with your own product or service instead of cash. So you're actually conserving cash for other expenses that can't be paid for with trade credit. It's a multi-currency platform. So at the end, when you're checking out, transactions can be settled in any different combination of currency, including cash, trade, reward points, Bitcoin. Doesn't really matter. And one of the most important factors of a trade commerce platform is that it increases trade velocity and transactions for a business about 15%. So the average business that participates in trade commerce is going to see about 10 to 15% in increased sales from new customers and new markets that would have never known about them. We have a mobile app so that you're not limited to transacting on the web or finding out on the web. We also just released a new payment platform using Siri on an iPhone. This will be available in the App Store on Monday, so that you can download the Alt Payment app, or you can go to altpmt.com and find out all the details about the app. Basically, it's an instant payment system where you use your voice with Siri to send a payment to any other member that's in your contact list. The system also has phone postings where you can post a transaction 24/7 using your voice on a touch-tone phone. It has built-in gift and dining cards that are multi-currency, multi-restaurant cards. Also, it could generate an instant ePIN, which is a platform that Vinit has developed, so that different people can pay other people using an ePIN, transfer that ePIN, and then use that to check out on a website. So the marketplace is on target. It provides value-added business services that deliver new revenue streams and greater profits to members because it increases sales and transactions about 15 to 20%. There's also a loyalty program. So retail businesses that are looking to issue reward points to their customers could actually sell products and services in the marketplace, earn trade credits, then use those trade credits to issue them to consumers, and then those consumers can go into a reward redemption site to redeem those reward points or those reward currencies for different products, services, travel. And you know, some of the companies that we work with is Oasis Resorts in Mexico, where we have access to $1 million worth of hotel room nights. Another platform that's integrated with the system is for credit clearing, where members can convert their cash due and troubled receivables to alternative capital or cash. So for example, let's say Cisco Foods is owed $1,000 by 100 restaurants. Cisco can put their receivables into the system, and then a message is sent out to each one of the restaurants saying, look, we're not a collection agency, we're here to fix this problem between you and Cisco, and if you're willing to pay $3,000 in gift certificates instead of $1,000 in cash, we'll settle your debt with Cisco. And then what happens is those $3,000 in certificates at a 20% food cost only cost the restaurant $600 to settle a $1,000 debt. Then those certificates are put at another online site where they're sold at 50% off, which now generates $1,500 from the $3,000 in certificates. Cisco gets their $1,000, and then the platform makes $500 for disintermediary that transaction. Merchant rewards is another facet of it, where merchants earn a 1% rebate on the first $50,000 of credit card processing each month and 0.5% thereafter. And then you're able to use those trade credits or those reward dollars, and they are dollars because it actually has a dollar of value towards the payment of different business expenses, products, services, travel, as compared to on the card side of things, where somebody uses a credit card, they're getting reward points that are worth a penny. So it's free to join, and once again, it's TiEConnectExchange.com. If you sign up in May, you'll also get 0 subscription fees for 12 months instead of having to pay subscription fees. And because you've sat here and listened to this presentation, we've got another bonus, and that is that if you list your offers in the marketplace, we'll establish a $2,500 to $25,000 interest-free credit line for you for 6 months, where once you've got your items or your products or your services listed in the marketplace, we'll match that with a credit line so that you can actually spend trade credits immediately before you've made any sales. That's it.
Cool. Yeah, we should probably hold the questions until the end. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. I want to invite Francois over here, please, to talk about Grandfather. His company is very interesting. He's talking about franchising business in a piecemeal. He's a UFM law school graduate, and his company's been funded by a couple of venture funds. Texas is one of them. Also, his business model has been, gone through a couple of accelerators and a couple of events, right? Recently, especially Bank of America Accelerator. So I want to give the stage out to him to talk about this.
Thanks.
Hello?
Thanks, Vinny. My name is Francois. This is Brand Crowder. If you saw the Fintech tech map, we are Investment Bank 2.0. So we're an alternative asset platform for branded franchise investments. We are a Finovate top 50 Fintech startup, and we're one of the few companies to present at Finovate Silicon Valley and Finovate New York as a startup this year. If you're familiar with AngelList or Prosper or any kind of marketplace, we are that for branded franchise deals, but more broadly, any kind of branded business strategy. QC Fintech is Bank of America's accelerator program. They curated the distribution channel for us. Our distribution channel looks like Prosper, Lending Club, and a couple of unicorns that were on the earlier presentation. Blue Startups is Tetris' accelerator program. Hank Rogers at Blue Startups is an investor in our company. I'm going to start with the team. It's telling you to start with the team, but this is the sort of domain expertise required to put something like this together. John, one of our co-founders, is a multi-generational, multi-new franchisee. His family was in franchising long before franchising was franchising, and we knew the license or contract was going to look like. He's got experience in brands like Burger King, Pizza Hut. We've touched as franchise developers in the analog world, probably about 30 brands actually working this out in the real world before we went digital and scaled. EJ's background is commercial banking. He founded Commercial Banker and exited successfully in 2010. Will is also a UM grad, our CTO. Me, I'm a fintech guy, but I also went in-house to the franchise company to learn franchise development. And Bob Armiak is actually local. He's the employee number 1 and former treasurer at ADS, Alliance Data Systems. It was the exchange fintech platform before the internet existed. One of the top 5 most successful IPOs of all time that he led. I think that his initial investors made 100,000% on their money. They're now a $13 billion cap company. So what is Brand Crowder? Brand Crowder allows you to invest in These are last year's top 50 franchise brand concepts. This is McDonald's capitalization pool, capitalization pipeline that they curated over 40 years. And this pipeline capitalizes about $770 billion a year. It produces annual goods and services about $493 billion. Total capitalization now is north of $13 trillion. It's a massive market. It's characterized by high transaction costs in terms of the assets and high illiquidity, which is perfect for blockchain application. So the market opportunity, I guess we just talked about that. We think that the size of the addressable market, if you can go at it at scale, is north of 24 billion, probably between 24 billion and 48 billion dollars. There's no one in this space approaching it from a digital fintech perspective. Obviously, there's a lot of PE, but no one's front-running PE using fintech. So how franchises are sold today? They're sold to insiders through specialized broker networks. And if not, basically they're dumped on what's the equivalent of Craigslist, curb alert. You can go on Craigslist in the business section, you can find franchises being sold, just basically being destroyed. There's also another alternative industry where these financial advisors call you up and say, use your IRA to buy a franchise. It's called a ROBS, and if anyone asks you, tells you they want to rob your money, you believe it. The other avenue is sort of SBA loan or a bank. So this is a very illiquid, high transaction cost type proposition with no succession planning. And the opportunity that is there in this space. So how we sell franchises, we do it on a platform. Front-facing, consumer-facing, it feels like crowdfunding. On the back end, it feels very much like an investment bank. We API it to FranData. So we went to FranData with the industry FranData data leader. They did the surveys for performance data. And they said, well, we don't have any APIs. No one ever asked us for them. So we had to code out APIs to integrate to real-time data. D&B, their business development director is a Michigan guy. He just said, plug right into our computers. Let's go. So this is you can add tools to it. So financing tools, again, using some of the technology we talked about today. Verification and personalization tools, trust stamp. So those verify IDs to do financial transactions. It's all about scaling the speed of transactions. And then there are brokers who are specializing in this space. Crowdfunding brokers, alternative broker dealers, self-directed IRA brokers, and then investbank.com to do even scale sort of mini IPOs under Reg A. So there's an established pipeline to acquire the assets using the regular players, which is Wall Street, through acquisition funds, and then chop up the assets into financial product and sell them through distributed channels, or private wealth channels. So this is what our website looks like. We're basically capturing, from a social network perspective, the entire franchise industry, all 800 brands, 170 sectors. And we're building tools to keep their attention, sort of like that Zillow-like tool at the bottom. That's valuable data to them. So where the franchise is, geolocal valuation information. So we do have some traction. We very new at this, is 7 months old, but in 1 month we sourced $453 million in deal flow. We're able to generate about $65 million in funds, packages for that, offerings. We then went to the banks and asked them, what would your first acquisition fund look like? We thought they'd be coming in $10 or $20 million a bank to lead, and our first 2 banks said we'd go in for $130 million. We've done some metrics on the conversion rates through our distribution channels, north of 11%. So 1 out of 10 people that we talk to are going to want to invest $10,000 to $20,000 in the financial products we create out of the acquisitions. So on the platform, we're curating. So we do crowdsource sort of deal flow, and we try and come up with the best 2%. That best 2%, we curate an Invest Now button on our platform. As was mentioned, we had Mac and Cheese, a local company, on the cover of Franchise Times magazine in June. They're the cutest girl in the room in franchising right now. Great, excited to have them. So this is a sample on our demo of funds we could put together. So a legacy Wendy's fund, established player, all the way down to IoT franchise for a pharmacy that's completely automated. Franchise kind of pharmacy is completely automated. It's a new concept that's coming out. So we can go to the front end to the back end of the market. Like the angel list, we syndicate. We don't require a minimum capital commitment before we syndicate. You've got a good idea or a good concept or a good company. We'll put it together for you, create a financial package and offer it for you, and put it through our distribution channels. The point of franchising is it beats the street, it beats the index, it beats all the indexes, largely because we're just monetizing the brand valuation. So it beats them about 10% on a consistent basis. If you do that for 30 years, every quarter, franchising is the way to go. It beats VC, it beats hedge funds, PE, everything across the board as an asset class. So our competition mostly failed to launch. So all the people who are doing equity and convertible equity, crowd franchise, funded franchise, Springster, no one launched. Mostly because they're focused on let's crowdfund one unit, crowdfund eliminates, and that's not the strategy. You have to go into the market, figure out what the gaps are in the asset pipeline, figure out what the assets are going to be, and figure out where to distribute them, which is what we've done. We've got the strategy. Applewhite Capital didn't do that. They've got some deal flows, they've got some traction, but they're not scalable. They're creating debt products. The only way you can invest on their platform is debt, and they're distributing to banks.